Hi, this is Terry Modique of Good News Ministries. What problem are you dealing with right now? What is stressing you out? What is going on? And in that, you're wondering, where is God? What's He doing? Where's the peace that I should have as a Christian? Where's the joy even that Jesus promises? This video contains a spiritual exercise. So I'm going to ask you to pause the video to go and get a piece of paper and pen to write with, or open up a Word document, something in your computer that you can write with. I'm serious. Pause the video to go and get that. Otherwise, this isn't going to be much of a spiritual exercise for you. Okay, ready to write? Write a description of the problem. Include in that description what you see God doing. What are you aware of that God is doing? Okay, pause the video again to write this description, and when you're finished, start it up again. Considering what you wrote, here's where God is. God is a God of more. God is a God of goodness, infinite goodness, more goodness than we can imagine, more goodness that we can even ask for. God is a God of love. God is a God of truth. God is a God of caring, mercy, support. He's always at our side. He doesn't always seem to be at our side, but that's because we're not aware of what He's doing. And this spiritual exercise is going to help with that. God is always doing something more than what we can see. Our vision is limited by what we can see in the world around us. Our understanding is limited by the evidence that's in front of us. The people who are involved in the problem, there's things going on in their lives that we don't know about, in their hearts that we don't know about. There's things going on in God's mind and heart that we don't know about. There's plans that God has that we don't know about yet. That more is where hope lies, is where peace lies, is even where joy lies. So going back to what you wrote, write it again. This video is about to end, so when it's over, spend time with Jesus, you and Him, going over your description again, but this time looking at, thinking about, writing about the more. What more is God doing that you can say with confidence because He said it in Scripture? Such as, I am always with you. Or such as, do not worry about what you are to eat or what you are to wear. Your Father in heaven knows your needs. He cares about the birds and He cares about the flowers, and you are more important than them. He knows, He cares. What does Scripture say that is part of that more, beyond the evidence that you can see, beyond the understanding that you have? And also think about, what might God be doing that you don't necessarily know a scripture for, but just because He is love, just because He does care, He's doing. For example, I have a family member who is not talking to other family members. And I've been praying for him for a long time. And I've sometimes wondered, Lord, seems like my prayers aren't making a difference. What's going on? And then I stop and remember that God sees a bigger picture. There is a lot more going on than what I'm aware of. And in that more, there's goodness. There's goodness in the waiting for reconciliation. Because people who are involved in this situation learn from it, especially those of us who are turning to God for help. God is teaching us something through it. The person who we're waiting to reconcile with is learning things in life, or is going through something, or will eventually reach a point where he turns to God in ways that he never would have if he hadn't gone through this separation from family. God is working a plan. I can't see it. Other family members can't see it. But with God, he's always doing something good and making good come from everything. You know, Romans 8:28 says that all things work together for the good of those who love the Lord. And when we trust God enough to say that he is in the more, he is beyond what we can see, and all of that is beyond what we can see is good because God is there, then we can be at peace and in joy, and our hope will not disappoint.